So in this one, I want to give you 3 simple ways to stay motivated even though you don't see results. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ranesh here, and let's just get right into this. Look, sometimes you're gonna start a new hobby, a new role at work, maybe it's a new relationship, or maybe it's that new goal or that ambition that you set for yourself. You're like, I wanna get going on this, and you've been doing it for maybe a few weeks to a few months, and you're like, gosh, I'm not seeing any results. So these 3 mind processes make it possible for you to stay motivated even though you don't have results. So here's the first one. The first thing to think about is this. When you're not getting results, remember, you're overly focused on the position of where you want to get versus the process of what you have to do. You see, we all want to get the outcome like right away. We all want to make that $1 million overnight. We all want to have the best relationship. We all want to have the outcomes of our actions come to us immediately. And in life, you know that doesn't always happen. In fact, most of the time when you start at 0. So you have to understand that you're starting at 0, and I need to focus on the process, not the position. When you make that switch in your mind and you're thinking process-based and not outcome-based, then that's the first step to installing motivation. The only thing that really detracts and drains your motivation is you overly focusing on where you should be and how you're not there. So stop telling yourself things like, man, I should be here and I'm not there. Or God, I've been doing this for 6 months and this is all I have to show for it. Or gosh, you know what? These are the outcomes that I wanted and God, I'm not getting any of those. That negative self-talk will rob you of you being in the process, you being in the present. So the first thing is be process focused, not position oriented, right? Position oriented means that you're overly doing it on the outcome. Process means like, how can I make the process better? How can I dive into mastery here? How can I actually improve and pivot and bring something new to the same situation? How can I refine my approach? If I find that something's not working good, how can I actually refine my approach and pivot this way or go this way and say, hey, now I can actually make this thing better. So process focus. Number 2, as much as you're going to be process focused, you want to derive your identity from the outcome that you want to attract into your life. So whatever that outcome is, you want to have, $100,000 in your bank account. You want to be wealthier. You want to, have a better relationship. You want to have a better work-life balance. You want to have more time in your life. What are some of those outcomes you want? Ask yourself, who do I need to become? Who do I need to shift into identity-wise for me to have those outcomes? And then you need to become that person. You need to act like them. You need to speak like them. You need to teach yourself how to learn the skills that they would know if they were here. So you're going to take your future identity, the thing that you're trying to become, bring it back to now, and then put it back into the process. That's the process that we talked about in step 1, which is, hey, this is what I'm doing. Take your future identity, whoever you want to become, bring it back into the process. And now what you're doing is you're taking the outcome of who you are going to become and you're making that person exist now. So now you are becoming that thing as you're doing the process, as you're doing your craft. Think about it. If you're bringing a higher level of who you are to your craft, don't you think that you're going to have better results? Absolutely. So the second part is to embrace and become the identity. Give yourself a brand new identity based on the outcome you want. What would that person be like? Bring that person into the present. Have that person do the process. The third thing is this. Do not underestimate, and everyone does this, small steps. You know what? I got to take that small step every day, small step. When we start thinking big, and I'm all for thinking big, but in the daily, you got to be micro. You got to think small, and you need to know which exact small steps do you need to take today to get you to the end of the day. What are my small steps for the day that get me to the end of the day? Focus on the smaller steps daily and have a bigger micro vision on the grand scale for the long term. So the third one is focus on your small steps. What are your small steps you need to take? And take those daily. When you start overly thinking about the mountain you gotta climb, and you're never gonna start. It's like riding a bike up a hill. If you keep looking up at the top of the hill, it's gonna distract you from the road ahead. Look at the road ahead. So if you do these three things, focus on the process, not the position, embrace and take your future identity and bring it into the present. Who do you want to become? Who do you need to become to sustain the outcome that you need? And have that person work on the process. And then the third thing, if you focus on the small steps and not get overly weighted down by this idea of like, I need to be eating these big chunks of, things that I need to do. I need to make these massive strides every day. No, you need to make those small steps. You need to take those small steps. Like they always say, ordinary things consistently done produce extraordinary results, right? Do the ordinary, do the small, one step in front of the other every day, daily. Do not overly stress yourself about the mountain you got to climb. Be here now, do these three things, and you'll see you will find it much easier for you to motivate yourself and to stay motivated even when you're not seeing results. Go for it, and before you know it, you're going to start seeing the results that you want, and it's going to be a whole different ballgame. If this video was helpful for you, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. I would so appreciate that. And always, I will see you on the next one. As always, live inspired.